front row of hip-hop. I'm on the front row and it don't stop. I'm on the front row.
My name is Marty Jones, and my best friend Mike Curry and I built a hip-hop record store in 1993. Ever since high school, we had talked about having a record store. We just thought that would be the coolest thing that we could ever do. That would be the greatest career that we could have. We could sell the music that we wanted to sell with no boss and no one telling us what to do. This is the story of the record store, the kids, friendships, and the money. It's all connected.
I'm on the front row. I'm on the front row of hip-hop. I'm on the front row and it don't stop. I'm on the front row. I'm on the front row of hip-hop. I'm on the front row and it don't.
We set out to make a store that was built from our hearts. It spawned a movement, a scene, and a lot of dreams.
Here's a little story that must be told.
I always felt that, that was a dream Marty and I had always had. Let's have our own record store. We didn't dream of making tons of money or, traveling around the world. And we just wanted to make.
I kind of did, but
We just wanted to make a living, But I was working.
And didn't want to work for the. We didn't want to work for the man.
No, we didn't want to work for anybody.
Yeah.
We wanted to do our own thing, and we talked about that all the time. And that's what we had been doing up to that point. Really, is just working regular jobs that we just hated.
Sucked, man. I sold insurance, man, when I was 24 years old. Who's going to buy insurance from some dumbass kid that was 24? Nobody.
Right.
And they didn't.
Right. Marty and I both come from families that, our parents, our fathers or whatever, made pretty good money, and we had everything growing up, There was never any doubt that we were going to college, or we had cars and we had this, that, and the other thing. And Marty and I were on the same little baseball team when we were like 7.
I mean, we were good friends like freshman, sophomore year, and then
we got our cars. Then
we got our cars, right. Once we had our driver's license, and it's like junior year, we were best friends from then on, and it was just you just have a connection with people, and there's a connection with music, and a lot of people, you either have it or you don't, and you can't really explain it, or it's it depends on what your passion is. So we always understood it, I think, what music was, and how it affected us and other people, and and that's what connected us.
We always say, we'd love to have our record store here. We'd love to have. We were talking about this in high school, to have our own record store. So to me, that's all I lived, breathed, and drank hip hop. I bought every single record that came out. We bought every 12-inch that came out. And that's what we did. It was about music. We just thought one day, wouldn't that be cool if we could do our own thing and sell the music that we want to sell? We wanted to have something special and unique.
When we set out to make the Groove Shack, we were just trying to make a record store. We wanted something cool for ourselves. Maybe a little, entertainment here. Some live stuff. Maybe guys can get on the microphone here and there. Maybe we'll have a DJ stand. That would be hot, Have guest DJs come in every once in a while. That'd be fun. After 14 years of talking about it, we were finally able to open our own record store. I went to about 8 or 10 banks and was rejected by all of them. I put together a business plan, of course, and Mike and I worked on that, and it was a great business plan, but no one wanted to take a risk. We didn't have any collateral. So what I did was I convinced my parents to co-sign on a loan.
No one was interested in investing in any kind of record store, especially a vinyl record store, which we always made a point that that's what we were going to be. When it finally happened, when Marty's parents said that they were going to loan him the money, it's like, to me, I was like, I couldn't believe it. It's like, are you kidding me? We're going to really open up a freaking record store? To me, it was just a dream come true. And, here I was, Marty was going to do it, with or without me. And I didn't have any way to contribute other than to what was in my head and in my heart. So my thing was I was going to have to give up my whole record collection that I had spent, 10 years accumulating. That was, to me, my records were my life. That was me. That was my identity. I've always felt like I really didn't have an identity outside of that. Just being a music guy.
I always knew that it would happen. I just knew it would happen, no matter what. Because I think we had talked about it for so long, you know.
Years and years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That that was just a part of our life that was coming up.
Yeah. This isn't the nicest part of town, especially at night. The crackheads loved this place.
Yeah.
They loved it. They could come in here and sit on the couch and warm up, and can I sweep the floor? Can I sweep out front? Can I clean the windows? A lot of times we'd have to shoo them out of here because, you know.
Yeah, that was crazy. And then all the prostitutes out there. And so I got to know a couple of them, you know, just, you know, platonically, of course. And they would basically, you know, they'd be out there and they kind of kept an eye on things, so to speak. And I would watch them too, you know, so we all kind of had this like little relationship where we were, you know, all keeping an eye on each other.
This is our town. Columbus is our town. We'll put the store we want to put it.
Right.
You know, when we found this place, it's like, oh yeah, perfect. Right on High Street, right in front of the bus stop, right at a stoplight.
It was good. And, you know, I mean, we had scouted around, Mike and I had scouted around for the whole city. I found this place and checked it out, and it was $500 a month. And this drop ceiling was not in at the time, and so, you know, I had them put that in, and of course they didn't even think to, they're like, oh, well, I guess we should, you know, but it was just the biggest wreck ever. I mean, it was just awful, and, you know, there was just crap hanging from the ceiling, but they put the ceiling in about a week. Once we signed the lease, we were open in about 4 or 5 weeks, so we flipped this place pretty quick.
We were so excited. You know, being able to get everything, the way it looked in here was fantastic, and Marty's friends helped build all the stuff. His dad was in here working. I wasn't married yet, but my wife was in here working. We're painting and doing this, that, and the other thing. It was like a big family effort.
When we were building the store, and I had my friends who were, you know, professionals and, you know, suburbanites who were helping us plaster and put up things, put up this whole walls and everything right here. They were like, so what's your theme? You know, I'm like, well, we want it to be as raw, and, you know, I mean, we don't want that corner finished necessarily because it's the shack. It wasn't like groove, you know, Hyatt Regency. Right, the shack. Yeah. We were trying to open on like earlier in the week, and we finally got to the point where it was Thursday. We were like, okay, we're gonna open on Thursday. And there was an article in the other paper that had come out that said, you know, we were gonna be open the previous week. So people kept coming by and looking in and knocking. And so Thursday, I was supposed to open at like 11. Well, I got this cash register and I didn't know how to use it, so I'm reading the manual as fast as I can to try to figure this out and, you know, run through it a few times. And so it was about 1:30 in the afternoon. I finally got it to work, and I opened the door, and, you know, there was a couple people that came in, and, you know, then we had, you know, a decent amount of business that first day.
We didn't just have 1 or 2 albums by artists. We'd have the whole catalog. So I'd have every Cameo album, every Parliament Funkadelic album. I mean, we just had, you know, just rows and stacks, and people would come in here and they would just freak out.
Having customers was incredible. I mean, we actually did this, and people are actually coming to what we made, and they're buying stuff here.
Yeah.
What? That's amazing. So we did that, and, you know, got through the first day, and, you know, I was just so excited. I couldn't believe it, you know. And then the next day was our first open mic. Open mic became a regular event at the Groove Shack every first Friday of the month. It started spontaneously the second day of business. What started out basically as an impromptu happening turned into the signature event of the store. When I decided to put it on TV on a public access channel in Columbus, it created a frenzy.
It was 1993. And these guys roll up there. What did you think when you came to the Groove Shack? First of all, how did you find out about the Groove Shack? Did you hear about it, or were you just like bumping around, or what was it?
I think we just found it by accident.
Just found it by accident?
And we just happened to see it.
And you just came in, and then what?
We saw the graffiti on. We saw the Groove Shack and graffiti style letters.
We saw the graffiti and it drew us. The graffiti made us come, be like home in on it. Seeing the hip hop, yes,
yeah, exactly. Plus the records, and then you had all the old records. You had all the break beats. You know, we saw the graffiti art. We saw the records. We saw the old break beats. We saw you know, selling real hip hop. You seem to have that spirit, so that's what drew us to it.
Back then, I had this sentence. I told them I got something to prove. That was the only reason I was rhyming. I wanted to go out. I think I was trying to kick it out, so we're gonna be the hard knocks. We're gonna get out here and get it. Only reason I went it was the battle. I love the battle. It's rip MCs. It's the essence to battle somebody that's destroying was my thing. The rappers always want to fight me because I've served them so hard. They always want to, at the end of the battle, they always want to fight me, but I kept the true essence. I never fought. Didn't care about none of that. I just wanted to rhyme and keep it rhyming. That's it. Non-stop. Yes, sir.
Hip parade, okay, the hangman is here. When I appear, they got the great for the rear. Why? Oh my, you don't know the place the way I blow them Caesar. You think they swallowed a live grenade? I'll blow you away, but I don't have to shoot you. We'll knock you off the bus, I'll knock you back to the future. Without the use of a time machine, when I get mad, I get blasted. Turning green.
Man, it was just exciting because, you know, to be around folks who love hip hop like we like hip hop. It's also an outlet for people in Columbus, the hip hop scene, to see who was who in Columbus. And that was definitely a place where we could go and meet other people that was doing what we was doing, it keeping it real, like intellect, like copyright, like phys ed. I mean, a whole host of cats that came in and out of there. You know what I'm saying?
That was my first introduction to that scene. I mean, it was like I was just so excited, man. I remember walking in and seeing the graffiti on the wall. Like, man, they got graffiti on the wall. You actually could tag your name on here. It's so dope. You know what I mean? Just the whole atmosphere was just so... I can't explain it, but it's like the first time walking in there, it's just like, I didn't even feel like I was in Columbus. You know, I felt like I was in New York City somewhere, you know?
And I was actually on my way prior to Singing Dog at one of my other record stores and passed by. I said, Groove Shack. I said, what the heck is that? I seen the music and the little graffiti thing. I turned around, went in there, was walking. He was like, hey, how you doing? I was like, hi. So I go back, I'm looking at all the records. I see all these classic and jazz records and old records and him. I'm like, what in the world is this? So I just come up, start talking to him, like, what's up with this? And how much is this? And just from there, I was going back ever since that first day.
I had never really seen anything like that a retail store that at the same time was hosting events and was kind of, had the open mics and that kind of, and sometimes you'd go in there and there'd be a DJ spinning in the middle of the day, so it was just its own kind of thing. You know, I'd never really seen it. Not a lot of people have that kind of formatting for a retail record store. In fact, it's pretty rare. I don't know if I've seen a place that had all those three of those elements in one place since.
I just came for the true hip-hop essence of it. It's non-violent. Hip-hop is non-violent. There's nothing, and in truth, in hip-hop, there's no cussing. Hip-hop is a true and a righteous movement that brings spirit and it brings life to the youth and it brings a turn to a betterment for the society and for everyone. That's true hip-hop. Yeah, if it doesn't give you betterment for your society, if it doesn't raise the community up, then it's not hip-hop.
Yeah, because really, that's what Africa Bambaataa and Kool Herc was doing. There used to be gangs, but instead of fight with knives, guns, and fists, we fight with rhymes, DJs, with the records, with the graffiti. Y'all, let's take it to the wall, let's take it to the floor, let's take it to the mic, let's take it to the turntables. That's just how it went.
You know, graffiti, DJing, rapping. It was the first time that they all came together in one spot. You know, and I guess that's what kind of made it like the new beginning of hip hop in Columbus. Yeah.
Wow. The Groove Shack is one place you know you can come to on Friday that you know you're gonna find that person. I ain't gonna see him all week, but he'll be there on Friday. Just wait long enough.
But I be rhythm, but you ignore me. Yes, you adore me, cause you get sick with me like a bunch of fans sprinklers. Yo, your head the voice that I be listening. MCs require symptoms. What sound you listen? Are you really dope? Can you really cope? Or are you...
Like Friday night was almost like a club. It was like, I'm about to go to the Groove Shack, man. I'm about to do my thing. I'm about to go in there. And some of the battles were all right, but some of the battles like some of the greatest ever.
It really wasn't about ambition. The biggest ambition was just rappers trying to destroy each other's reputations, basically. That was it. It wasn't like any kind of career motivated thing.
Hey yo man, what the fuck is up? Yo, what the fuck is up? I'm tired of hearing songs about these bitches. If I see another yo, let's take your video. I'm a test that you can dance to the middle of tomorrow. They'll be slower with your beautiful, but I won't give a fuck cause you was back in commercials, so just slow it for a buck. You suck, and the ass is out of luck.
I remember the first few times that I'd go and see a battle, and it was one of these things where there wasn't a judge, and there wasn't a panel, and nobody was deciding, and there wasn't anything to win, and nobody was going home with a trophy. But somebody went home with respect, and somebody went home humiliated. And that was all that there was to win and to lose. And I'll never forget some of those moments of like being in that room and just that instant. Now, talking about it now, it doesn't seem that big of a deal, but when you're like 19 or 20 or 21 or whatever, and you're first experiencing those things, and you're in a room and two guys are going head-to-head, rappers, battling it out, and somebody comes up with some line or X, Y, and Z or something, and they inch the other guy out, and boom, he just, you know, he won the 100-meter dash by a hair, and just the eeriness of being in a room, and everybody in the room knows exactly what happened, and nobody needs to describe it, and there wasn't a judge, and there wasn't anybody deciding, and there wasn't even anything to win other than this element of respect. I'll never forget that. It was just so captivating. I was like, holy shit, I felt like I was in some kind of subculture or world or something that was its own thing.
You want to front? Don't niggas bitch to get their ass up. But wait a minute, that must be facts. Because you always got your ass up.
I mean, I guess for me, I just thought that you know, it was great talent. I never knew what we could do. I never dreamed of all this for any of us. For me, it was almost like, you know, even if it doesn't happen, it's not a big deal. I think that's what makes it so important, because even if none of us had ever made it to that level, we did it and loved it. You know, that was the importance of it.
When Mr. Noose come up and give me that, man, like, you know how ill that is? Because Mr. Noose is like the dude we looked up to, man. Like, that dude served cats.
Yeah, used to see him on ACTV.
Just served cats, man. Him and Derek. Like, just, you know what I'm saying? Messing with Mr. Noose, the microphone legend, what do you say? You might as well go to God and take him. Well, you might as well go against God and taking over heaven. He had the illest lines, man.
And now I feel sorry for you. You were tipsy and impossible, embarrassing your crew. After taking the hangman, the microphone legend, you're better off killing God and taking over heaven.
That one shit, I remember other shit. If I was, what do you say? If I was Chinese, you hear me holler. Please leave my parlor. Your rhymes ain't worth $2. I love that shit.
And if I was Chinese and you hear me holler, please leave my parlor. Your rhymes ain't worth $2.
No, I mean, that's like what it all stemmed from. Like when we first saw the first Channel 21 shit, I saw it was Derek and it was Sean. You know, it was Intellect and it was what's Sean's old rap name? Doc Giggles right now, Complex. And we were just like, this shit is dope. Like the shit was dope. Like it could have been on a video. You know what I'm saying? Like the actual music, it could have been on VH1 or BET back then, or MTV or some shit. Like the shit was fly.
How big was that cable access? How many people watched that?
That shit was huge, man. That's what I'm saying. Like when we seen that shit, we was like, we got to go on that show because ain't nobody never heard us. We got to get like it was exposure. It was sick.
Okay, hip hop fans, this is the show that we've all been waiting for. Groove Shack, live and direct. This is a half-an-hour show featuring the top local talent in Central Ohio and surrounding areas.
It was, and for that time, it was like people didn't even understand that until now, like how much exposure that was. Like it was a lot of exposure because that public access would get recorded and then somebody will take it out of town and they're like, oh, there's some Columbus niggas rhyming right here. Oh, this is they got Groove Shack, you should go down there, go to Groove Shack and rhyme or whatever. Or like out, outskirts of the city. That's sick. That was sick though, man. It was definitely like, that's a jump start.
Man, niggas come up to open mic and never grab the mic. They don't do what they like. They don't flex the skills that I like. Come with the mic. I rock the mic. I like to flex my skill when I have to. Yes, indeedy. Giving the skills to most of the needy to come into this area. This is open mic. Groove Shack, I Street, 291, having fun.
I just didn't know what it was about, and it was intriguing because I never seen nothing like that on TV. And yeah, like I said, when I saw it on 21, I thought it was like New York. I thought it was from New York. I was excited, man, because we had some place that we could go to, and we could, we could get on the mic and show off the skill that we've been like secretly trying to hone, you know, in like bedrooms and school hallways and stuff like that.
Niggas try to step to me, but yo, I got the jizzer. Cause yeah, shooting cause you don't know me from him, cause you don't know hip-hop, the lyrics get. I be in the grip of the groove shack. Rhyming over smooth tracks, yo, whack as fuck all that bullshit, because you know that this track is blood turn.
I remember the first or second or third times, but I know that I was nervous. I already know that. Because, I mean, it's a small-knit place, you know. Sometimes that could be more nerve-wracking than the big places, because you got everybody right there. It was always a vibe, like, you always wanted to compliment what just happened. Like, you didn't want to, somebody ripped, you didn't want to go up there and be dog shit. You wanted to go up there and outdo him or keep the level up, you know. So, because you knew it was going to be on TV. You knew everybody was going to chill and cypher outside afterwards. So, you just kind of wanted to keep that skill level up, keep that consistency going.
Yes, when I met you, I slept on. Believe me, I did not miss out on nothing but a wax stuttering story excuse for a master of a conduction. The reason why I give birth to me, and this will be my lifetime duty. Extinguish and eliminate all the rappers that are booty. That's been a bit of rap MCs crap, then they wash me hate. I'm better than anything you can possibly make.
We would watch public access, like, where is this at? Is this here? And we would watch it and record it, and it's like cats rhyming, come on down, 614 something, like come to give the information. And we seen our boys on it from school, so like the next day they came, when it first started, the next day they came and everybody was sweating in school like, oh yeah, y'all killed it, blah blah blah. I'm like, man, we gotta get on that show, man. We'll murder everybody. They can't just say they're the dopest, they can't just say they're the illest. They ain't even heard us yet. So we're just like getting mad and shit and just getting revved up, like writing verse after verse after verse after verse, like just having shit ready for anybody. And then it's like, we were just like, all right, fuck it. I remember the first time we went, we came down there on the 4th of July. It was on the 4th of July on a Friday. And we're like, we're gonna go to Groove Shack first, murder everyone, and then go downtown.
When the destruction of your crew comes kid, you'll be scared to stare, cause I'm prone to go one MC right out of my hair with highlights from the sun. I'm enlightening. MCs that disintegrate, causing chaos like in state, busting MCs in the 60 longitudes, 30 latitudes. Man, I have no gratitude with the obnoxious attitude, cause this is the way I deliver with superior flow. Mr. Asshole, king asshole in control. Yes, it's me, 90% H2O.
We all get on the bus, there's like 18 of us. I remember that shit was crazy. It was everybody. We all went, and everybody, we were like, everybody kick one verse, and we'll be out. We'll just be out. We get there, we just go grab the mic first, like fuck that. Everybody rhyme, do a verse, bang, 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 bongo, bongo, we're out here. Nobody said nothing, nobody looked at nobody, we just left. And then like a couple weeks later, like, oh shit, we watching on public access, and then we get sweated at school like, yeah man, that shit was sick. You know, next time if Groove Shack is popping, you got like 3 or 4 hot verses that you could just come in and murder cats with. Like, you just keep it stashed, you know, because you know somebody gonna come and battle. And you just like, alright, and you just chill out, and then you just pull your hot one out at the end, or a second to the end, like, alright, I'm gonna kick this one out.
Man, who gets served? Fucking with the hangman. So rappers are coming up, dead miles for miles. The cause of death, the hangman freestyle. Check it out, baby. Yo, word up,
I just remember thinking like this could go anywhere. I think I remember thinking like, how come this hasn't already escalated? Like, how come it's at a chill level? Yeah. Because we're like because we were kids, and like you said, like a lot of times we'd be disrespecting like grown men. Like it'd be like thugs from the short north, and we'd be in there little kids, like, you know, whatever, 16, 17, rapping, saying the most disrespectful shit we can come up with. And you know, this is some dude, some dude who's like 27, yeah, some crip who's like a grown ass man, and you know, like 30 or whatever, battling some 15-year-old kid, just trying to make him look bad on TV.
When I rock the microphone, you know I bombed the nation. Hold his own, he couldn't hold a conversation. So what the heck is going on? I'm flowing strong, leaving ya. Breathing MCs, I'm proceeding, leaving ya, and leaving you with amnesia. I cram the teacher, and MCs know when I'm on the microphone, you will know I never leave you on the track. It's not whack, cause I got facts, ignore ya. If you're whack, I'll ignore ya. If you're on the track, I'll floor you with the lyrical technicians that are freaking, I'm just speaking this.
The Groove Shack just became that place where I got this new beat, telling everybody what to think, you know, and you throw it on, or I got this new verse I'm working on it. You know, everybody spit that, and you get the honest criticism.